upcoming sex swapped Conan will be a queer cringe fest with She Is Conan. So this is what's coming out, and it's coming to cinemas in February. And this is from Fandom Pulse, and this is, let's have a look at this. I don't know nothing about it. I'm a huge Conan fan. It's, I'm I'm a guy who, as a kid, 13, 14-year-old, 15-year-old, uh, collected like and I've started recollecting them again and used to read them like seriously. Like I would grab it, read it, and put it on the shelf, collect it, or then I'd try to buy them. Conan books from Les Sprague, from I think it was Lynn Carter, of course Robert E. Howard, right, and so many others. And I just used to eat that up. And now, I've got a character I'm creating who's like a beast man, but he's based around like a barbarian, and that's something that I'm doing in part of my Zoolandia world, which we're going to be looking at, working with an artist from Spain, hopefully, right? Not Spain, Sweden, right? And we're going to be looking at that and looking at it, bringing him on. We're just working out the contract on that because I don't deal with contracts. I don't deal with finances and anything like that. I just keep my hands off that. I'm just a creative person who wants to create and get things I'm writing made. So I love, I've always loved Conan, and just and of course Red Sonja. It's just yeah. So to see something like this happen to it, it's just, I think it's vile. It's just lazy. I've discussed this with other creatives about how people just want to race swap characters or gender swap iconic figures, and then the thing they want to do is like impose their own ideologies into that character and so on. It's nothing new, but it's like the most laziest thing you can do. So like I said, for me, like I'm creating a character that is you know that is also a barbarian, but he is a beast man. So he's not going to be. Let me just put this out some. It's kind of, there we go. That's better. So he's like a beast man, right? So he's not like fully human, and he's not like he's a barbarian, but he's not Conan. So it's an original character. And I can make the character have whatever gender I want. I can infuse whatever sexuality, into that, because it's my original character. Now, this is laziness, right? It's laziness, and it's also, ruining something that's so beloved out there in the world. And it's a character, that's iconic in the sense that, what's his name? Ani, was like, he's the only one who could have played it at the time. And you look at how it was played. I mean, my dad let me watch it at home at like about 12 years old or something when it came out on VHS. I've seen all the Conans. I've seen the Red Sonja movie. And like I said, I've got them. This year, my whole goal is to buy a really good Conan statue or action figure. It's my whole goal. By Christmas, I'll have that. It's it's going to cost a couple hundred. So I'm not like someone, I can easily spend $20 or $30 on this, but when it comes to a higher figure, I got to make sure it's value to me, because otherwise I can just go buy it, buy buy something like this and paint them up, and make them look like, Conan, right? Because of course, He-Man is basically, kind of like a takeoff on Conan, but with kind of like with sci-fi fantasy elements chucked in there, in that sense, But I mean, anybody who's a fan of Conan would be like, why? Dear God, why? Right. So let's have a look at this article here from Fandom Pulse. We're not going to. I mean, I don't know how long it is, so I'm not going to try to go through the whole thing, because I'd rather you guys go and look it up. But so I'll include the link in the chat here. But this is the name of the movie they're going to put out in February. And this is kind of like something that I always kind of like think about when people like parody or something else other characters, because I don't want to see that happen to my character, but somebody will one day, right? And that's just the way it is. So I don't like to do that with other characters, other people's characters. That's my opinion. That's me. That's my thing, right? So I don't hold it against anybody who does that. And I've, discussed with other people, and that's fine. You do you, and I don't have a problem with that. But when you take an iconic character and do this to it, it's really sad. And now, like, I mean, every character, everything that you see that they this to, it doesn't pay off. It never pays off. And we're going to look at at the DC Comics character soon as well, where they've done this too, right? So this is called I don't know who Bertrand Mankendo is, but like we'll have a look at him and see what he's what he's got going on creatively later, so we understand who this guy is, right? And what does he create? So, and what he's worked on, I should say. So let me grab a quick drink before I get all caught in mouth. All right, so she is Conan. So you can see it's got a, another N in there. And, you kind of go like Robert E. Howard would be like, rolling in his grave. I won't get as far, but if it was my character, I would be, if I could, roll in my grave. But yeah, it's like this never pays off. Have you seen everything that's happened the last few years with where they've done this? The sales, it'll happen quickly for once, and then it'll like drop off, and nobody will ever think about it again. Why don't you just make a decent Conan movie? Well, because you don't have the rights. I think Titan has the rights to it, and also, I mean, isn't it like in something about it being in like public domain? That's why they can do this. I don't know, but anyway, so she is Conan. This is a screenshot of it, right? So who's Conan, right? So she is Conan, directed by Bertrand Mandico, a sex-swapped queer cringe adaptation of Conan the Barbarian is coming to cinemas in February. I doubt it'll be coming here next one. I mean, yeah. I haven't even heard anything about it, right? And this is the first time I'm hearing about it. So from a short synopsis at the Altered Innocence, it's probably about right. In a barbaric fantasy sci-fi trip through time, great. Now you're using time and sci-fi. Cool. Then you shouldn't have just called it Conan. Call it whatever you wanted to. But of course, it's by the name, so you're going to be lazy, ripping off somebody else's creation, right? So in a barbaric fantasy sci-fi trip through time, sword and sorcery. Oh, by the way, this is written by Jack Dunn from Fandom Pulse. Right. In a barbaric fantasy sci-fi trip through time, sword and sorcery mythology is bent, fractured, and gender swapped by master visionary Bertrand Mandico in his third feature. Wait, he's a master visionary and this is only his third? We'll see what he's done, right? And we'll find out if he's a master. Because usually, I don't consider myself a master writer, even though I've written so much over the last 20 odd years of my life, right? And done so much, but I wouldn't never consider myself a master. You gotta like at least be doing it for at least about 10, 30 years. I reckon 30 years, maybe 10, 20 years. And lots of work under your belt, not just 3. Anyway, so 6 lives, 6 errors, and 6 deaths mark Conan's poetic journey through different incarnations and lesbian loves. Guiding Conan through her many epic lives is Ilana Lowenshon, amateur led the Corpse 10, never heard of those, as Raina, a Cerberus of many other worldly dimensions whose paparazzi camera sees all. Cerberus. Isn't Cerberus like a dog? What is Cerberus? Yeah, Cerberus is a dog. A 3-headed dog of hell. I should know that. I've just done one of those. Kind of done one of those for my Hellscape Templeton's. Right, so weird. Okay. The perversity of the Wild Boys and the hero's journey of After Blue, Dirty Paradise, come together in this even, that must be another name for After Blue, because usually like foreign movies have like one or two names, like it translates better or they market it because then they realize that Dirty Paradise is, there's another country has already got that done, so they have to change the titles. Like The Circle, right? Like a comic book drama thriller crime thing that I've got. It's called The Circle, but there's many circles out there, right? I mean, comics with titles called The Circle. But I did like 20 years ago. Come together in this even greater handmade homage to Mandeko ropes in. Gosh, I'm wrong here. Let's get back to the start. The perversity of the Wild Boys and hero's journey of After Blue, Dirty Paradise, brackets, come together in this even greater handmade homage as Mandeko ropes and influences as lush as Fellini, Citricon, the Night Porter, the Hunger, and Fassbender's entire overt to craft a moving portrait of a warrior trying to find her place while outside of space, time, and meaning. The official selection of Cannes directors Fortnite, Fantastic Fest, and Sitges strives on its own bizarre extravagance as it pushes the limits of substance and style. And yeah, so she is Conan. Oh, so that's what she looks like, right? Does that look like a what's that like? Earring, ear stud, something like that. Yeah. So they couldn't even find a muscular female. And by the way, I like muscular females, right? I think that's pretty cool. Like you put your, I just like the tone and everything, and I like the time. People, you know, even like bodybuilders, right? And Dolph Lundgren says, based on the time and effort like athletes put into honing their body and to look a certain way. So yeah, so basically ripping off Conan, gender swapping, race swapping. I'm not race swapping because she's still white, right? Yeah, she's still white, so not race swapping, but gender and sex swapping, right? So according to interviewer, right, Conan, there's a warrior at 25, a betrayer at 35, and a sadist at 45. There you go. And a psychological terror at 55. She did not disclose what Conan was at 56. A childless cat lady, perhaps? Good joke. Yeah. The kind of bastardization of Robert E. Howard's great Conan character has to have him turning over and says, didn't even know that was there, but that's what I said at the start, right, when we were reading this. But, and it's, yeah, guy, right? Someone's saying, and this is a joke, right? Wished it was, but alas, right? Jack's replying there. This sounds like pure cringe. It is. Pure Weimar Republic vibes. Don't know who that is, but yeah, luckily Chuck Dixon's Conan is available now and faithful to the source material. Yeah, I mean, like somebody said, like the recent Conan books. Sorry about my phone that's texting away. I mean, messaging away. Might as well sit on it anyway. Yeah, this handy reminder, is out there with Chuck Dixon. I've got a couple covers of it. I think it's the same book. I'm not sure. Yeah, nice dollar store face makeup, right? From the reject bin at the dollar store. Basically, I mean, like you're just ruining an iconic character, and this is what the cringe fest of modern storytelling is. It's the ruining of, of what's good out there. Now,